Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurt with Ron and Matt. Thanks for hanging out.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode of Our Brains Hurt. This is our last episode of 2020, and we have a very special guest tonight, the drummer for one of the greatest bands of all times, the Ramones. Tonight we are talking to Richie Ramone, and we will get to Richie in a minute, but first, let's talk about our sponsor for tonight's episode. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Two Beards Trading Post. That's Two Beards Trading Post. If you have a beard and you like using beard butter and beard oil, give these guys a try. Two Beards Trading Post. You can find their beard butters and beard oils made of all natural ingredients right here in the United States of America at twobeards.club. That's TWO beards.club. And now Matt will tell you a little bit more about Two Beards Trading Post.
Two Beards Trading Post, beard oil and butter. What do you do when you and everybody you know work remotely? Well, you stop combing your hair before work, let the beards grow, and stop wearing pants to meetings. After all, the working world has changed dramatically, and beard styles of 2020 have made a statement. We started joking around the names of our future beard oil recipe and butters for men's whiskers. We laughed, and the name stuck. Then the beard butter started a churning. The oil started a mixing and the fan base started a growing. Let's keep the fan base growing. Set up an account on the accounts page and be the first to line and receive information about new products and specials. Introducing high quality handmade beard oil and butter, 100% all natural ingredients. What beard doesn't want that butter? A light heart and a bit of novelty, made in the USA.
USA!
USA.
Hell yeah. My beard is so excited right now. It's like all perky.
Ugh.
So again, check them out at twobeards.club. Give their product a try. All right, now let's get to the show and Richie Ramone. Hey, what's up, Richie?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Work. It's like trying to break in a safe at a bank.
I know. I heard
these numbers.
I heard my wife try it out earlier because I'd never used Zoom before, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but it works." So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty clear for a cell phone. I could hear you good.
Okay, good. So my friend, my co-host Matt isn't on yet, but he'll jump in whenever. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
And where are you calling from?
Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's right.
Yeah, right outside of Annapolis. Yeah.
Right.
So what are you doing out in LA? You living out there now?
Yeah, I've been here for a long time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
I moved back and forth here a bunch of times, and then the first time I moved out here was like after the Ramones, like in '88. Which was really cool. I caught that whole the Sunset Strip metal shit, the Cat Club and all that stuff. Everybody grew their hair long.
Yeah, that must have been an awesome time to live out there.
Yeah. Oh man, it was really great. And then in 1980, the scene moved to Seattle with Nirvana and that, and all the clubs it ended. It was really weird how it just ended, but at least I caught 2 years of it, which was kind of fun. Like every night of the week, there'd be a different. This place would be the Cat Club on Tuesdays, and the same people would go to all these places. It was kind of cool. No.
What was your favorite place to play out there?
Where, in LA?
Yeah, whether it was in the Ramones or now.
In the Ramones, I loved playing the Palladium.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great. We played the Palladium, and I think we played the Whiskey too. So played both of those places. So those are probably the two great, the ones I liked. The Palladium and the famous Palladium show, I think '84, where there were the riots and stuff. So you've seen that photo before.
Oh yeah. How have you been handling 2020?
Terribly.
Yeah.
Matt's
here now.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Matt, you here? All right, Matt's here. Matt, Richie, Matt. Here you go.
What the fuck? Why are you late, man?
I'm a fucking slacker, man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we were.
How you doing?
I just asked Richie
I'm
about
good.
how he's dealing with 2020. You know.
Yeah, no, for other people like got motivated and all this, joking, like recording bands and doing shit. It didn't happen for me, man. Because I was off to my biggest year ever. I finished that B-roll movie I did called Head Cheese the Movie. That's on Amazon now. Playing
Right.
myself. I don't know if you know anything about that, but anyway, we just started the tour like March 5th. Like a 5-week tour in Europe. And the coronavirus was following us around. We got through like 6 shows or something, and then finally Berlin. That was it. It got shut down there, and then I had to get the band hold back. So I was at the beginning of this thing, and
Okay.
now it's just lasting. So it's a long time. Like we're rebooking for 2022 now. Figuring March of 2022 will be okay.
Right.
And it's a long time not to perform live. I like it. It's the only thing I get to do that gets me out of here, and and I miss a lot of friends. So I've just been hanging around, been writing bits of songs, but I've really got to get it together and finish my record out and get that done this year before I start touring. So that's what I'm planning on.
Right.
But it hasn't treated me good at all. So
yeah, yeah, it's been a horrendous year for most people. I've talked to Matt and I have talked to a lot of bands on here, and a lot of them are just using that chance to write and record if they can.
Yeah, well, that's all great if you can, but man, you get something's got to hit a nerve to write. I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
To write something good. So I think there'd be some good stuff. Everything coming at me now is like singer-songwriter shit.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. So it's So we'll see. But I still have a lot of stuff that I've been doing before this happened. Now I'm finishing that stuff up. I'm slowly getting it together. And I mean, I don't know if you're asking me questions, but if you want to know, I just got off I did a 7-day water fast, and
Okay.
because I needed something to fucking change my brain waves.
Yeah.
Forget about losing, 12 pounds. That wasn't really necessary. But let me tell you, it's really hard to do. And, but it really, by the end of this thing, like now, I've only been over it like 5 days now. My head's really clearing up. Like it really,
Nice.
I don't know. I can breathe again. I don't know why. Like I'm active. I'm in the studio now. I'm doing all kinds of stuff again, in the past 10 days. But so that I think that's how I snap it out of it, believe it or not. It does a lot of cool things to your body. Like you go through all this shit, and but I feel like I'm rejuvenated. Let's put it that way.
That's cool.
So,
It's a massive detox.
Yeah.
Massive detox.
Just water, man. I didn't even do a juice, it was just water.
Oof.
And maybe apple cider vinegar I put in water sometimes, as a treat. Like that's an effing treat, But yeah,
Man,
and 7
that's
days
gotta
was
be
tough,
rough.
Yeah, now
Gosh,
But I
damn.
hear about all the people doing it, and the monks, and these people do it for 2-3 weeks, and Lord,
Yeah.
I don't know how, I'd walk by you wouldn't see me if I did it for 3 weeks, because you lose a lot of water weight, a lot of
Yeah.
water weight comes out of your muscles, but it's very interesting. So I did it, and now I know what that's like, and I like it, and maybe it's something to do 2 or 3 times a year. Who knows? But you got to have nothing to do. It's not like
Right. You can't do
I
that
don't
on
know.
the road.
You got Yeah, you can't be on the road. Your energy is weakened because don't have all that sugar making everything go. So,
Right.
but it was enjoyable. So that's the end of that. That's where I am now. Yeah, 2020 sucked. I was really miserable and a real cunt. For like 6 months straight, I was a cunt to everybody. So
Okay.
I didn't talk. The phone would look. I look at that name. And it was like, and if I did talk to you, you didn't. After a minute, you really didn't want to talk to me. But I'm feeling good now, so I think you caught me at the right time for this interview. You would have got a real cunty one like a month ago.
That's it. That's what just drinking water and taking nothing else will do, right?
Yeah.
It'll get the
No
cunt out of
alcohol,
you.
nothing. It was cool. So,
That's cool. So when we met last year, it was last September, I think we played at Annapolis together.
right,
And you were touring for your book. The book is I
okay.
Know Better Now. It's an
Right.
awesome book. I mean, if you're a Ramones fan, it's a must read. But even if you're not a fan of the Ramones, it's just a really great look into a rock band. I mean, it's a really, really good book. So
Yeah.
how
And
did
they
the
finally
book come?
released it on ebook now. So,
Oh, did they? Okay, good.
yeah.
How did the book come to be, and what was the toughest part of writing a book?
People approach me sometimes, about a book, and I was like, I don't want to write a book. I want to write a book when I'm on my, deathbed,
Right.
And I talked to my guy, tour manager, Jeff Jones, close friend, I know for 35 years. He said, listen, people want your book now, on your deathbed, you may not be anything by then, so you should take advantage of it. And I was like, okay. So I got a really cool book deal at a back beat books. He gave me a lot of money for it. And the thing was, did I want to do it? No, because it was, I don't know. I have a, crazy background, strange and different. But
Yeah.
Lee Sobo, who's a literary agent, approached me again, said, listen, we got to do the book. And I ended up doing it with Peter Aaron. I hit it off with him. He's from the same hood as me, like the New Jersey over there. He knows that area real well. I grew up in Passaic, New Jersey, and all this. And
Cool.
he's a former musician, and that's how we did it, But I kind of fought it for a long time until I was convinced, like, you might as well do it, And it was really good, So,
yeah.
And I felt good for the Ramones fans because they don't know really much about me, and I don't have like the 100% misfit up growing up, how I grew up, and I played in horn bands, youngsters. So it's totally different than just, learning rock and roll. I don't know if I answered your question. I got sidetracked there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
but
was it tough to kind of revisit some of those memories? Like, I know, like,
awfully,
yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah.
Really hard to go back and to get the dates right and the years and everything. I relied on a lot of people for that book and friends who are still around, and asked them, when do we do this? When do we do that? And, I needed information. Finding photos was a pain, for it, and getting the rights to the photos, and, they had to buy photos and all this stuff. So that was really hard. But yeah, remembering was really tough, and, I go through those Ramones years, like playing live, there's certain little things, but they're always the same thing. You get there an hour before, that's it. You have the Joey Primer, we have our little beer. You come onto a smoke-filled stage, you don't even know, can't see nothing, and you just go. And an hour later, you're done. You hop in the van and go home. So those all kind of blurred,
Right.
But it was, well, you read it, so there's really some interesting things in it. But, the thing is, when I did the book, I said, I'm not going to fool around. I've read a lot of books like this, and it doesn't even sound like the guy talking. It sounds like the writer talking. And this guy got my voice. If you notice, it's like you're talking to me sitting in a bar, because I talk in a lot of short sentences and stuff like that, put my subject matter at the end of the sentence a lot. So Peter really got my voice when he was writing this, and that was key. You got my voice, okay, you got the job. You're going to write it. And the way I did it was just night after night, or text, or a lot of phone calls, telling him the stories. He'd ask, and he'd dig deeper. Well, I need to know more about that. And what's that person's name? And, and then we're getting into names. It becomes difficult. And then, my ex-wife found I was doing this book and had us withdraw her name from everywhere, which was really ridiculous, So then it had to be her or my wife or she, and it was like, come on, that's so lame. I was really, I took it down with all the publishers and everything, said, man, you guys got, no balls. You should have left her name in it. And so I didn't like that move that they did, but they didn't want to, I guess, face the legal challenge, She was a tough one of those kind of women. So I don't know. But anyway, so it was really hard remembering, and I relied on a lot of people. I got a lot of help and people with photos. So it worked out pretty cool.
How long did the whole process take?
Probably like 2 years. Yeah. So that's why I haven't even put out another record in the last, I don't know, 4 years or something. 3 years. It's been a while because,
Yeah.
you know, it took a lot of my time, and now we got this pandemic thing. So I'm getting psyched now, you know. So I'm shooting for, you know, people are still like pushing it. I think September I'm going to try to play the States again.
Nice.
September, October, maybe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I just can't go out there. I just can't go out there and do the mask thing. I can't do it. You know, I like to come out after the shows and say hello to everybody, you know, and, you know, you're not going to want to do that. It's going to be all weird in the mask. I can't do that. I can't go. If I don't have people jumping off the stage, I'm not going, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be, 100% or nothing, you know?
Right. That's why that people are asking me to do these concerts on TV now, live streams. I don't know how to do that. You know, because to just look at me, some old guy running around with a microphone with a good band, it's not enough. You know, my show requires, you know, audience participation.
Right.
Without me leaning into the heads and, you know, headbutting them, it's not the same, you know?
The virtual shows feel empty anyways. It doesn't matter who's up there. They all feel empty.
I guess so, yeah. You know, it's just, I don't know. I can't see going down that road. So I'm going to wait. And then you got to wait because when day one comes, there's going to be like 5,000 bands booking all the same clubs and all over Europe. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to wait behind that log. So I'm going to wait. If I make it, you know, survive another year, then we're going to go with a new record, you know? So, and the book I'm going to do an audio book with my voice. I think that'd be killer.
That
you
would
know,
be awesome.
And this way, everyone in Latin America, at least they don't know how to read it, but they can understand it when I talk, you know?
Right.
So that I want to get done this year too. So now I'm like, you know, coming out of the closet right now, you know, I'm just waking up. Took me a long time, 8 months. I got home from Europe March 20th, like on the last flight of this airline that took us home, March 20th.
Wow.
And it was very interesting being there, watching what was going on here with COVID. As I was in Germany and England, you know, seeing how they talk about America over there was really interesting.
Right.
Yeah. And then I was hearing, they were closing this. It was really crazy. So ask me some hard stuff.
Hard stuff. Let's see. So when it comes to the Ramones, I'd always wondered, like, what was it like jumping into a band that was so popular instead of, you know, coming up with the band, you know, like with their celebrity jumping right in? What was that like? Can you speak to that?
Yes, you could speak to that when I was 24, 25 years old. So I was still, you know, a punk bratty kid. Okay. But I knew my craft. I started, you know, playing drums at like 7 years old. You know, I was good. I knew it. You could tell just by me walking down the street. You know, I don't want to sound like an idiot, but that's it. I knew it. It didn't matter to me who they were. I mean, I've auditioned for Cinderella in the studio and other people, but, you know,
nice.
It didn't matter. Billy Idol. It didn't matter. I knew the songs and it just didn't matter to me. You know, I was just confident. I went in there and I didn't think about any kind of stardom thing. That wasn't me, you know. Yeah. I wasn't a kid who had one poster hanging on his wall. Not really growing up. I never had, like, you know, I was never idol of bands or anything like that. You know, I was into drumming. I loved Buddy Rich and John Bonham, and that was the seal on the whole deal. And that's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get John Bonham's foot and Buddy Rich's speed. And I got them both, and that's what I worked hard at. You know, I figured if you got both of those guys, you could do anything. And I grew up in the funk world playing with 9-piece full horn bands because my brother was a horn player, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, back in Passaic, New Jersey in the hood, all the black guys. He was the only white guy in the band. I mean, this was hardcore shit. You know, playing all that, you know, tower power stuff and all those rhythms. So anyway, when this came, you know, I was like, wow, you know, I think I had one Ramones album. Okay. Maybe the first one, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, so, I wasn't starstruck by the band. It wasn't like, you know, a big fan. You know what I'm saying? I was going there as a job. I did it, and then after I got in and met Joey, we became the best friends for my 4 years and 10 months I was in that band. Every night we hung out, whether on tour or not. We were like glue, you know. And then I fell in love with it. Then I really understood the behind the scenes, those 3 different guys with 3 different personalities. Well, 3 guys were 4. Dee Dee had 2. So I guess we had, and then we had mine, the Jersey boy, the guy from Jersey, from Passaic, New Jersey, which was kind of hoodie in the hood back then, and I brought this new blood and this new energy and the blah blah blah. And then I realized when you got close to the Ramones, you really understood what they were about and how fantastic and wonderful and beautiful, and how they changed the sound of music forever.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have ever got that appreciation had I never ever been in the band.
Right.
So
It's
I didn't.
funny. I still find.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say it's funny. I still find people nowadays somehow who, when I talk about the Ramones, they're just like, not like, who are the Ramones, but like don't really understand what the Ramones did for music, not just punk rock. But,
no,
got to teach them,
I mean, when they started in 74, 75, I was playing that beat, that disco funk beat. I was in a band called Madison Horn Band. We would tour around Canada. That's all my booking stuff, so,
right.
But, and then what happened with me when the late 70s, early 80s, like they started to use click tracks with drummers. And then I became like this fantastic, what I loved about was, Psychedelic Furs and all that, the drums were totally steady and monstrous, like a drum machine playing, but playing drums. And that's when I really learned how to really lock down timing, and that's all I did in the Ramones. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd start it, and you guys got to be there, or catch up or fall behind, because I hate speeding up and slowing in bands. So I'm there. And that's what made our lineup work fantastically, because Dee Dee played around the beat around me, and so did John. So when you get bands who play that so tight, it doesn't sound cool like the Ramones. They're not swinging it or like, they don't leave that space. They go, no, you got to leave that on that thing to create the space. But with my drums as solid as a rock going down the middle, they could float in around me, and it created this really killer full sound. It was really unique. And I'm not saying that was my lineup, but it was really intense lineup at that time. Live, it was unbelievable. I was singing then. Joey kept saying, yo, sing, Richie, sing, Fuck. By the end of that, I was singing half the set with them. It's crazy, So.
Yeah. How long did it take you to, were you totally welcomed by all other 3 members? Like, how long did you feel like a Ramone when you joined the Ramones, or did that take a little while?
Oh, like I said, I was welcomed by Joey immediately, and Dee Dee right away. I felt like, well, they never gave me that name for like 3 months, It's funny, like I was signing Richie Beau, Beau, on some of these records. Whoever has that signature, maybe in those 3 months in stores, they got something very valuable, because I never signed it again. As much as people ask me live, "Oh, could you sign a Beau?" I said, no, that's going to take away, the integrity and the value of someone else's record. I'm not going to do that, So, yeah, Joey, like I said, we hit it off right away, and Dee Dee too, So I know things, but and John, I don't, Yeah, we hit it off right away. I mean, in the beginning, John, we'd be on tour. We go to all the ballparks. That was his thing. So in Chicago, we go see a White Sox game in the afternoon if we had time for 2 innings, so he could see the stadium, or Toronto, shit like that. So I did all those things. So we were family right away. You hit it off right away when you're new, because you're fucking good, okay? They don't have to worry about you. They didn't have to worry about the drinking like Mark.
Right.
They knew I was there. I remember the first show or something. They took us to The first show. We went to Benihana. That's where we went for like dinner before the show. And I had a sake. I remember John looking over at me saying, you going to be all right? I said, it's one sake. We're okay. That was it, and you bring this energy. And what I'm trying to get at is everybody is on their best behavior. Dee Dee, Joey, and Johnny, they're on their best behavior when they have somebody new. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
Everybody got along. It was all great. You hear all this shit. John didn't talk to Joey. It wasn't that bad when I was in the band. Maybe it got worse in 89 or whatever, but not when I was there. So, it was fine. And I tried to share myself across the aisle because, I was trying, I moved around everybody at the beginning, find my footing. That's why I'd go with John. I'd go with Joey because John would never go with Joey. I mean, John and I in the colleges and shit, we'd always play stickball. It used to be fun in those auditoriums. We'd get there for sound check. He was a real baseball nut and could really pitch. He could move the ball. I don't know how anybody can throw a ball and make it curve. He knew how to do that.
Nice.
So I couldn't play baseball for nothing. I don't know why, but so I hung with him, and that's how it worked. So in the beginning, it was all great.
What was your most memorable Ramones show? Looking back, if you could just think of what comes to mind first.
I'm sure there's a ton, huh?
There's a ton, but I used to like the festivals, the ones we did with U2 in Europe. I don't know if it was Copenhagen or Belgium. I think it was Belgium, and I don't know. There was 200,000 people there. It was crazy. And when you're outdoors, like a woods, as far as you could see, you saw people. Those old pictures that you see, the speakers way back, the stacks way in the audience, way back there, like Woodstock. That's what it looked like to me. It was killer. And they were throwing up plastic, good half-gallon beer things. They were drinking jugs of beer in half gallons. They were throwing that up. And I had broken my wrist I broke my wrist the night before riding a moped, so I was taped up. I got shot by the doctor, and it was really crazy. That's a funny story too, but that's a real memorable. I like the real big ones myself. And at that gig, Martin from U2, the drummer came, asked if he could speak to me, come to the trailer, and said, he thought the world of me as a drummer, which I thought was really cool. And if you listen to him play, he's got a little of that groove, So it was interesting. That's probably my only celebrity who ever complimented me playing the drums.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my peers must not like me. So
whatever, you're playing in front of 200,000 people.
Yeah, Ramones was, and this is the thing, I can play crazy stuff, but I didn't even play a triplet in the Ramones. You know what I'm saying? That was what the music called for, but I kept it steady, hard, and kept full riffs on those hi-hats going, and that's the way it was back then. And I know how to play for the song I'm playing. I don't play a fill because I learned it the night before, or it's a cool fill, so I'm just going to throw it in here. You know what I'm saying? I play what works. I play what works for the song, and I play around the singer's lead vocals. Very important. So, you never want to squash them.
Right. Yeah, I think that's one thing I love about the Ramones in general is that it's kind of like no bullshit punk rock. It's just, no solos for the sake of solos or anything like that. Like you said, no fills for the sake of having a fill. It's just whatever sounds best and just go.
Yeah. Just do it. Now when I tour my thing, I put a little things in there which I enjoy, but they still fit the song. They're not like I hear too many drummers. I go, oh, why is that there? What are you doing? Oh, because you got two bass drum. You got two bass drum pedals, so you do the You ever see Ed Shaughnessy from way back when, Night Show, double bass drum? He used it as another thing, not like every fill was based on that, you know. These guys get every song they play has to have the two things in it. It drives me nuts. Save it, do something special with it, or use something special, but just don't, you know, use it on every turnaround fill because it's easy. And they don't develop speed, these drummers. They don't develop speed because they're playing with their feet too much. Okay? They get their damn feet fast, though, when they do that double bass drum shit, you know? But they got nothing in their wrists. Okay? They got nothing there.
More, man.
You know?
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they got nothing there. They're just used to electronic drums. They got no steam, no heat. They don't know how to, like, snap that wrist like throwing a football, you know? When you throw a ball, you throw it and that elbow comes down into your side. That's how a drum goes, you know. You flip that wrist up and it goes in your side. That's what gives you that crack effortlessly, you know. But they don't understand that.
Right.
But boy, you know, they play those. I can't believe. I always go, you know, I'm endorsed with Axis drum pedal, so I go to NAMM. They have the double thing there, you know, and they have the speeds and the competition. Some of these guys go so fast on that. I don't even know how they do it with their feet, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I like to use one foot, but use it as my third wrist, you know, and incorporate it that way, not just blast away. But I admire that, you know, I admire that blasting that they've developed their feet like that, you know. I think that's really cool. But they only know how to do single strokes. They can't really incorporate that well into the things, you know. So
you mentioned South America earlier, and I know one thing. Listening to you know, Joey and Johnny interviews throughout the years, they always said that we go to South America and there'd be like a few thousand people. Do you still find that with your solo act that you're getting like a huge following in South America? And what do you think why do you think that is?
Well, I don't get a huge following like they do, but
right.
I probably get my biggest followings in there in Spain and Latin communities. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially Argentina, number one, and Brazil, you know. I mean, I've been all over there. It's a lot of fun. It's for them, I don't know. They adopted them as one of their own. You know, the first time we were allowed to go there was 1987. It was unbelievable. And that's the only show I did with them before I left. I was the first drummer in South America with them. And then in the 90s, they went again and became bigger and bigger and bigger, you know.
Okay.
But it's like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. It's a religion to them. Ramones are religion. And when I go down there, okay, let's put it this way. Me, Richie Ramone, nobody knows anything. When I go down there, I need the big glasses and the big nose and the mustache. Otherwise, I get stopped everywhere I go. That's cool. It. In the airport, forget it. People will come up to you crying. I have to always have goody, like, swag on me. You know, I had a mother come with her two children. Are you Richie Ramone? You know, oh my, really? You know, and like, you know, and give them swag and stuff. It's really crazy. Nowhere else in the world. I can go everywhere, but down there it's a little more difficult. Any airport, anywhere. It's kind of cool when you go through customs though, because a few times you'd be in like, you know, 200 people custom queue, and you see a guy way down there at the booth waving. You go, oh, what? We're in trouble. Who's, you know, who's riding dirty? Damn it! I told you not to. You know, and he's waving. He goes, well, Richie, and then, you know, pass up everybody and go through the customs, you know, quicker. You know, so that's really crazy. You know, and you know, it gives you like a little tiny taste of what these major celebrities have to do with everywhere they go. That they can't even, you know, I mean, it must be horrific in one way, you know. Joey was cool like that, though. You know, we go right down 8th Street, march right down there. He lived on 9th Street. We go right down 8th Street Saturday night hanging. People stop him, but he'd talk and he'd sign shit, and we just keep going, you know. But New York's a different kind of place, you know. People don't really, you know, it's kind of special. It's not like here. It's different, you know. Down there, they'll do it. Let's put it this way. Mexico City, I played the Ska Festival myself about 3 years ago. The big Ska Festival, ska bands from all over the world, huge, 10,000, 12,000 people. I played I was walking in the hallway. We played to like 12,000. They went nuts. I was the only, I was the punk rock band of all the ska people, which ska is really close to punk. If you really listen to that, it's crazy, you know, it's wild, you know, they really go for it. It's really hard and punky. It's like a really close league of punk, you know, and I was the token punk thing down there in Mexico City. But I was walking in the hallway, okay? No, you know, I go everywhere. I walk myself, you know. I mean, I don't think about this. And, you know, I corner my eye, I see somebody, and Richie, I could see them look, you know, because I'm wearing sunglasses, so I could see them look and see look, and then I see more, and then I see more. Finally, I get pinned by a ton of people, and I say, do I run in the bathroom? There was a bathroom there. If I go in that bathroom, I could really get killed and smothered, you know?
Yeah.
So I started like pushing away, like they were just strangling me, hundreds pushing on you, you know? It was horrible. And then security came, you know? But that only happens, you know, so that happened in Mexico too. So I guess, you know, but the Latin communities, they really love us. And Argentina's number one, and, you know, crazy. It's nice though. It's nice to have one thing. So, you know, we usually go there once a year, or once every year and a half is how we repeat ourselves, kind of. And it's fun down there.
It's no wonder that punk rock and ska came together, actually. And you put it like that, you know?
Yeah, it's killer.
The crowds were so similar. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and they had, you know, they had everybody there. It was great, you know?
Yeah, when you were talking about Joey Ramone, how he was accessible to his fans, we Matt and I talked to we had Joe Queer on the show a couple weeks ago from the Queers, and he was telling us that, you know, one of his greatest memories of Joey was hanging out with him and just seeing how gracious he was to everybody who would approach him, no matter where he was. So it's cool to hear you say that as well.
Yeah. Oh no. He was great, you know. He was, you know, we were buddies. I took him to my family in New Jersey. You know, we went all over the place. You know, I started like renting a car and going with him because he didn't do nothing. He just, you know, he's in that apartment, and then he left it, and that was it. No one like took him anywhere, you know, unless we were going to play a show. So we had a lot of fun. Very, very close. And it was sad when he passed. You know, I heard, you know, I heard that he was looking for me when he got really sick, and I found out too late. But I don't know. You know, I never got to say goodbye to everybody, but it was all right. I got to say goodbye to Dee Dee about a month before. He called me when I was living in Miami.
Okay.
And I remember he said, he ended the phone call, Richie, how much longer we have to live? 3 or 4 weeks later, he OD'd. Because he visited me in LA before, I stayed at my house and stuff, you know. He'd wake me up 7 a.m. We'd have to go to Hollywood, try to, you know, cop some weed at like 7 in the morning. I'd have to drive him, and we'd go down. You know, it was really hard to do at that time, and, you know, it was funny. But he introduced me how to smoke big time. For, you know, he was a big smoker. He'd wake me up like, you know, and an early riser like me, you know, so like 8 in the morning on tour. I just went to bed at like 4, 8 in the morning. Hey, Richie, you want to smoke? And he'd come with like 3 big giant joints over to my hotel room, and he'd smoke at 8. And the bus or the van always left at 11 a.m. So, you know, he was special, just a special, another special guy. You know, I wrote a lot of that rap stuff with him, and he was just special. To know him, oh my goodness, he was somebody to be close to also, you know. And John was great, but he, you know, he's very private.
Yeah.
You know, I never had his phone number, anything. You know, I'd have to call Monty. You know, you didn't know nothing. You never went for a cup of coffee. You didn't do nothing. You saw John at rehearsal. You saw John at the show. And on tour, maybe we went to a ballpark. End of story, finished.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's how it went.
That's I recently saw, I was, you know, when I was researching for tonight, I was watching a couple of your interviews, and this one story about Dee Dee that made me laugh out loud was you were talking about how he had some contraption in his shower that allowed him to smoke weed.
Yeah, he never stopped. So he had, you know, he had a tube that went into the shower, but the bowl hung on the curtain rod outside. so we could light the
Yeah,
bulb.
you can't get it wet.
Right.
You can't get it wet.
No,
Yeah.
and he smoked through the tube. Come on, you're taking a shower. He loved to shower though. He would shower like 3 times a day. I don't know
That's
if that's
funny.
why.
Of course he did if he had that thing.
Yeah. He loved to shower. He's always showering.
I don't know if showering was the thing that he was loving.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny, man.
Yeah, but the funniest thing is the van. Like during the Ramones, we got a new van during that time. And you know how it goes. Johnny's front row, Joey second row, the third row. The drummer's always in the last row. The death trap. Driving from Vermont home after a show, because Johnny won't get a hotel in the snow with Monty Melnick on cocaine. Okay, you're in the back thing. You can get squashed. I prayed a lot of times about being back there. Because that's a scary spot to be in.
Hell yeah.
And Monty enjoyed his blow. So he, that's how he's able to drive. I mean, we would play Vermont, come home, then play Boston the next day. Okay, who does that? You stay in Boston.
You would drive from Vermont to New York?
Yeah.
And then
New
back
York.
to Boston?
Yeah, the next day. I
Holy
suppose
shit.
because Johnny wanted to sleep in his own bed. My ass, Johnny wanted to save, $500 on hotels. Okay? Yeah, isn't that nuts? So you get home from Vermont around 7 a.m., 7:30 in the morning, and then 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you're going to Boston the next day. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, that was because we played that East Coast like crazy. We'd play like the living room maybe 3 times a year in Providence. We worked that East Coast, and you talked about playing for 20 or 30 people before. I don't think any show I ever played with the Ramones wasn't sold out.
Yeah,
in my tenure, everything was sold out. They knew exactly what size room they could play in what city. Okay, come to LA, you could play a couple thousand. New York was the Ritz, or other places. That's how it worked. They knew this city, 750, 1,000 capacity. That's it. Hanging from the rafters everywhere you went. That's what made it so effing exciting. Okay. So yeah, we did a lot of that. Driving like that. So I forget what the original question was when I got into the van.
Me too, but it doesn't matter. That's like
the one we got was great.
All right.
I can't believe that driving from it just because I have family all up and down the East Coast, and just thinking of driving from Vermont to New York just to go to Boston next day just makes me it raises my anxiety just thinking about it. I can't even imagine.
No, it's funny. It's weird, guys. I feel so good. I haven't felt good in months. That I feel like talking. It's kind of great.
That's cool.
That this worked out. And we gotta say happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because
hell yeah,
and all that good stuff. But it was I don't know, it was exceptional. Listen, I'm just a kid from New Jersey. My father was a landscaper, had his own business though, a big company, like had 12 trucks, blah blah blah.
Right.
Kid from New Jersey ends up in the Ramones. It wasn't Pat Benatar, where you don't even know the drummer's name. Sorry, but I just don't know. I had a surname, I had an identity. I couldn't ask for anything better in my life.
Right.
Couldn't ask for anything better than to be part of that. And nothing better than that.
That's cool. Yeah, sticking with the it is this episode will air on the 23rd, which is 2 days before Christmas.
Right.
So what are some of your best Christmas memories, or what's the best Christmas present you ever received?
Best Christmas present? Maybe when my parents bought me a snare drum when I was like 7. I don't know.
Nice.
That was a good Christmas present. That's another hard one. That's like, when you get into these questions of what's the best, next is going to be what's your favorite Ramones song. No way you can answer that one. So don't even ask that one, because there's no such thing as your favorite Ramones song. It's impossible. If someone answers that, there's a problem. There's a problem there, and you have to give them my number and have them call me. So,
if you could receive any Christmas gift at all this year, what would it be? See, I'm asking you hard ones now.
The what I like for Christmas is the COVID vaccine.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting it, hopefully. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, maybe in months.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
All right. Here's a random question for you. I was having this debate with somebody.
Okay.
If you were on death row, what would your last meal be and why?
If they could get them colossal king crab legs, I love with drawn
Nice.
butter.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I usually eat that on New Year's Eve with some champagne. It's a delicious meal. I'd have that.
Nice.
Oh man,
You know, and it's not too heavy, you know.
Yeah.
After they hang me, I won't like all that shit won't come out if I had a steak, you know.
That's true.
No, that would be good. Yeah, I'd like that.
That's cool.
You're the same kind of man as me, because that would probably be mine. Like no shit, like champagne and crab legs. I love it.
Really good. But if you ever get a
Love
chance
it.
to get those giant ones, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like one leg is a pound. It's like, wow, you know.
I actually made those at my house with a long time ago with my mom. My mom and I cooked them. We didn't have a pot that was big enough, so we had to like boil like half the crab like slanted and then turn it the other way.
Right.
But because they were so big.
Yeah.
Years
great.
ago, but it was fun.
Yeah, I'm making
really
some
good.
lobster tail for Christmas Eve. I'm Italian, and we do, fish on Christmas Eve. That's kind of like an Italian tradition. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally. That's right.
Well, Richie, thanks so much for doing this, man.
I also want to mention
yeah, go ahead. If you want to plug
January,
anything,
go
go
back
ahead.
to shoot my second movie called Projet Moi, or Protect Me. You know, it's like I play the vampire, you know, the head vampire, whatever they call that, or Ambrizio. I play the head vampire.
Nice.
You know, I got nude women chained to me, and like, you know, it's the same director. And they said, "Man, you look great as a vampire. We got to get." They wrote this whole movie, and some good people in there. Tamara Glenn from Halloween 5. She was a teenager in that movie. She was in Halloween 5. Some pretty big people in there. Maximilio and all these women, and like it's like, you know, I'm like this king vampire that I do nothing. You know, they do my nails, and I just sit there, and if they want sex, they come to me. It's like really cool. So it's called Protect Me on Crude Cinema. You could probably find a little thing on Crude Cinema Films, a Robbie Lopez film. Protégé moi. I guess that's in the French, or how do you Protege? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Moi, MOI. Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah, Protégé moi. Yeah.
So I shoot that in January, middle of January. So I'm going to go to Kansas City for that. It's going to be the first time I'm leaving home. I got to be safe for that one. But yeah, I'm getting into some of these movie things now, and I'm really enjoying it, man.
That's
a lot of laughs doing this stuff. So we got that one coming, and then on Amazon is Head Cheese the Movie. Head Cheese the Movie. That's what it's called. That's the whole title. And that's on Amazon Prime. I think it's like $2, or if you have Amazon, it's free. And that's my.
When I was a kid and I found out what head cheese was, I was so disturbed.
Oh.
Now you can watch the movie.
Right.
Awesome.
So I hope you got everything you wanted, and everybody was entertained. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Richie. Yeah. And, you know, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Same to you guys. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody out there. And 2021 is going to get better, but, you know, let's mask up. You got to keep masking up, man. Just keep masking up. You know, we got a few more months of this going on, so just do it. Yeah. You know, it's not so bad. You know, I like it. You know, I'm starting to get used to it. Having the thing around, I don't know.
I have this weird anxiety where I always check to see if I have like something in my teeth or a booger, and now I don't have to do that because I just have to.
No, you don't have to do any of that. You know, nothing. Nothing.
Historically, these things have only lasted about 18 months. So if the timetable goes with history, we should be out of this somewhat soon.
Yeah, the fall will be good. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the fall for sure.
Okay. All right, come out. You still playing, right? You guys?
Yeah, we're still playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep,
All right.
we'll be back.
So we'll
Yeah.
okay, good. Come on the road with me for some shows.
That would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right.
For sure.
All right. Great.
I'll send you the link to the podcast when I finish editing it and stuff.
Please do.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Richie. Take care.
All right. Peace. Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode, our last of 2020. We have some really cool stuff in store for 2021. New website, Patreon page where you're going to get some bonus material, and some awesome guests coming up. So just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has listened to the show for the past 3 months. We've hit over 1,000 downloads in less than 3 months, and we're super excited about that. And we're really grateful for our listeners, and thank you so much for keeping this thing growing week by week. So we really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, check us out on all social media platforms at Our Brains Hurt, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just look us up at Our Brains Hurt, and you'll find us there. Give us a follow. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'd like to say a thank you to our friend Jen out in LA. She, like I said, she does the voice at the very beginning of the show. She's done our logos. Awesome artist. So check her out at stupidradmerch.com/Gentois. That's JENTROIS. stupidradmerch.com/Gentois. She has some really cool merch for sale. Also check out the zine that she's a part of, Crap Nation. You could find them on all social media platforms at Crap Nation. It's an old school Xerox punk zine based out of Toronto. They do a really good job with their zine. It's a really cool zine. So you check it out and follow them on social media at Crap Nation. I'd like to say another thank you to the Handsome Scoundrels who let us use one of their songs for the intro to our podcast. Check them out at thehandsomescoundrels.com. They're a cool ass punk band from Mobile, Alabama. Thehandsomescoundrels.com. So like I said, thanks again. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for helping us grow. We're super excited about our numbers and going into 2021. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. Be safe during the holidays. We're going to take a couple weeks off, and our next episode will be dropping on January 13th. So enjoy the next couple weeks with family if you can. If not, at least give them a call, check on them. It's the holidays, so do what you can, but be safe, have fun, and like I said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we will talk to you guys in about 3 weeks. Take care, everyone.